Have some breaking news right here where the 3 Israeli hostages have been released by Hamas. This is a live look at some Israel Defense Forces helicopters right there. This is in Israel, and we have learned just moments ago that, in fact, the 3 Israeli hostages were transferred. This is a social media post from Israel Defense Forces saying, quote, according to information received from the Red Cross, 3 Israeli hostages were transferred to the Red Cross, and they are on their way toward IDF and ISA forces in Gaza. This is a joint statement by the IDF and ISA saying, quote, the Red Cross has communicated that the 3 Israeli hostages were transferred to them and are on their way toward IDF and ISA forces in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, we did want to share this live look with you as many individuals here in Israel anxiously awaiting the arrival of the 3 Israeli hostages. This is a live look right here from family and friends and community members who are celebrating the release of these 3 female hostages. Part of the exchange, of course, is the release of Palestinian prisoners. And I also wanted to share this with you. This is a live look from Ofer prison in the West Bank, where Palestinian prisoners are being released in exchange for the 3 Israeli female hostages. I did want to bring the very latest to you when it comes to the ceasefire deal that got underway earlier this morning after a 3-hour delay. The delay caused by Hamas not releasing the names of the 3 female hostages, and Israel vowed to keep fighting until it did receive those names. In fact, an Israeli airstrike killed at least 8 people in the southern city of Khan Yunis after the ceasefire was delayed. Hamas blaming that delay and handing over the names on, quote, technical field reasons, saying that it is committed to the ceasefire deal announced last week. And so Hamas did release the names. The truce started then at 11:15 a.m. local time, the first step towards ultimately ending the conflict and returning the nearly 100 hostages abducted in the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack that triggered it. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying earlier Hamas had not lived up to its commitment to provide the names, and the military did say it would continue to attack targets in Gaza until those names were provided. And so the ceasefire earlier this morning up in the air. You're taking a live look from Israel as you can see what appears to be a military and law enforcement convoy driving up to these helicopters right here as night is falling in Israel at this moment right here. So this is the first phase of the ceasefire. This is set to be 42 days long. It should see a total of 33 hostages returned from Gaza and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and detainees released. Israeli forces will then pull back into a buffer zone inside Gaza. Many displaced Palestinians should be able to return home. And this region should also see an increase in humanitarian aid. So that is the very first phase of the ceasefire, and negotiations on the far more difficult second phase of the ceasefire should begin in just over 2 weeks. Now, of course, a lot of questions still remain, including whether the war will resume after the 6-week first phase and how the rest of the nearly 100 hostages in Gaza will be freed. We do know that medics and the Israeli government both separately are scheduled to hold updates after the hostages are attended to by medical personnel, giving the very latest on that. And we are keeping a very close eye on all of these live feeds. As soon as one of those briefings, one of those updates gets underway, we will bring those to you, including President Biden's remarks that are scheduled to be delivered at any moment.